Hi, I am Montani and together with Severin Menard, we are GIS consultant at the United Nations Global Service Center. Today we are going to speak about how UN mappers have been using crowdsourcing in education in order to provide a three-dimensional digital replica of Mogadishu city in Somalia. Before starting, I would like to show how UN mappers have been contributing in the last 2 years. So in this video, we will be seeing like a temporal evolution of the edits. As you know, UN mappers are providing support to UN peacekeepers in 5 African countries by providing OSM data over map sheets, which are squares of the area of 27 square kilometers. So over the 2 years, we have been producing 340 of them. The data that we are producing is very complete in the topographic sense because we are producing land cover, land use, road network, and waterway networks. For example, we have been producing 290,000 kilometers over the last 2 years for the roads and 110,000 for the waterways. So here we can see an example in the Gedo region in Somalia. And most importantly, we have been leveraging crowdsourcing to produce many different features, among them also building footprints. So, for example, here we have an example in Mogadishu. So we have been producing up to 50,000 building footprints in the city, like in different security areas, by actually retracing the data that was already there, because like many building footprints were copy and pasted, so very bad quality in the past, while some areas of the cities were actually empty. So this has been achieved in just a few weeks, um, and as you and I will tell you more about the editing that we have been doing in this project. The mapping campaign has been started to provide data to the Virtual Operations Center, a pilot project between the UNGSC and UNSOS, the peacekeeping mission in Somalia. And this project is providing a suite of solutions based on extended reality, or XR, which is actually a virtual sandbox to visualize, explore, and plan the mission's operations in an interactive, immersive, and collaborative way. So the tool is using both mixed and augmented reality, and the main applications are strategic planning, site selection, and security operational assessment. We'll play now another video in which we can see a demo of the tool. So we see here two colleagues of us that are seeing the augmented reality tool. On this tool you can see OSM data, so the buildings are coming directly from OSM and underlying a satellite imagery. They are able to move the object simply by, let's say, using their headsets. On this, let's say, dataset, we can also overlay the UN data and especially operational data. Like in this example, we are seeing the police stations in Mogadishu city. We can see the UN premises and so on. Another type of analysis that we are doing in the logistic base is the blast analysis, so the simulation of the blast coming from different type of attacks. And so the user can select the location of the attack and also the attack type, and we can simulate, let's say, the buffer around it. Another feature is the patrol simulation. So the user can simulate patrolling by providing the ways that the cars will follow, as well as a buffer area to simulate the line of sight of the patrol. Obviously, also the UN data layer can be overlaid, so we can see which UN feature is visualized by the patrol, and we can deactivate and select only the important ones, like in this case the security locations. Another features also, I mean, this is the third person patrolling. We have also um, the first person patrol simulation. So here the 3D models of the buildings are created starting from the footprints in OSM. But obviously these are simulated models, and we can actually go better with the using other OSM features like the OSM height and the roof type, as well as the material of the walls. This would actually require some help locally, both from NGOs or other, let's say, local volunteers in the city. We can see here the helicopter view. So this is let's say the flyover and flight tracking. So this is like the patrol simulation by car, but made by flying with the helicopter. So you can see here we see the buildings from OSM, and we are simulating, let's say, an helicopter view with the mixed reality tool. To feed such innovative applications with OSM data, we need obviously high quality editing. So we organized the three tasking manager projects for this mapping campaign. Each of them has been completed in 2 days, let's say completely mapped, because then we also organized validating sessions, and we had a total of 360 contributors from the OSM community. Um, and actually, it wasn't the usual footprint mapping, because, as you can see, like we require very detailed footprint shapes, as well as a detailed mapping, because in this case, for example, we have a tall building and we have to map the footprint at the ground level. Also, to facilitate the work of the volunteers, we have been splitting the projects following the roads in Mogadishu. So we created many tasks that were actually very easy to fill, because in this way, I mean, volunteers can take a few time to create the tasks, and also the buildings were following the road network, so many of them were not overlapping other tasks. And last but not least, we created a set of instructions in many different languages in order to help them to do the correct editing. And obviously, we organized also training sessions with volunteers in the community. So, as a matter of fact, higher quality mapping is achieved only with more efforts and in trainings and in the education of volunteers. About this, Severin will now speak about the activity that UN Mappers is carrying on. So thank you for the attention and enjoy the rest of the speech.
Thank you, Michael, and hello, everybody. I'm glad to present to you now the educational activities of the UN Mappers. Basically, these educational activities are twofold. We organize training activities and we produce learning materials. Regarding the training activities, let's see first our approach. What kind of training do we provide? There are two main kinds. First, we organize short trainings session around a map pattern. And generally, this is an introductory session to the map pattern itself, and we train the people to the specificities of the map features they need to map over this map pattern. We also invite any mapper to join us during the frequent validation times. We organize 2 or 3 times a week so that they can learn from skilled mappers how to validate data. This apart, we also organize real training programs that are aligned, recorded, and they last several sessions for a duration of between 10 and 25 hours generally. And we have done that so far in 4 different languages: English, French, Italian, and Portuguese. What do we teach during the training? So it's mainly focused on OSM data creation, and specifically on the map features that are of interest for the Unite Map initiatives or its partners. But we also included some other topics in the training program, what has been kindly requested, or we thought it was of interest. So we can see we have been we learned we taught, sorry, people advanced editing or validation techniques. We also taught how to build OS simulations, how to organize field mapping and use data collection mobile apps, or also for generally for uh, small communities that are new. We teach them a bit what the OSM ecosystem is and how they can interact with it. Who can benefit from our trainings activities? The the beneficiaries can be either very new contributors or some still beginner mappers to really advanced mapper that would like to grow specific skills. And we aim professionally local communities, and especially the ones in Africa, and if possible the ones that are concerned and by a peacekeeping uh, mission from the United Nations. But we also we also provided some training sessions to the global community or academics. And how a new training is decided. So generally we directly propose to a specific group to organize the training if they would be interested. But it has been also in the past directly suggested by a group that would like to, to either enter into the OSM community or to develop a specific skill. Let's see now what were the training activities we had over the past 2 years. Regarding the one involved in Mapathon, there were two kinds. There were some Mapathon organized with specific groups, can be generally either a local OSM community, or it can be some professional groups or companies that would like actually to start voluntary humanitarian focused OSM mapping, and they would like to they would like our support for their first session. And we also organize a Mapathon open to the general public through weekly Mapathons, a UN map marathon that occurs once a year. And recently we had a large Mapathon organized jointly with UNESCO for mapping in Madagascar. Regarding the full courses we organize, the one for beginners. As you can see, these beginners are from country in the south, generally people that are starting or wanting to start a community. But we also design specific advanced courses, especially focused on land cover mapping, involving generally the, the teaching of creation of OS simulations, It has been done with OSM Uganda and OSM DRC, that are the people that are close or directly involved by a peacekeeping mission and the unit map mappings, and they would like actually to know how they could join this land cover mapping and learn these most a bit more advanced techniques. And here you have an overview of different training sessions have been organized in the whole world. So sometimes the people stay, everyone is at home in front of his computer, but sometimes the people gathered in a venue, and they are together, and we we teach them during the session we have with them. The second pillar of our educational activities are the learning materials we are building and that will be gathered in a learning hub that is not yet accessible to the public, but is coming soon. The concept of this learning hub is to be based on Moodle, but with the material that will also be available offline, what is an important point for the community in the south, where the bandwidth can be limited and the internet costful. So we are building a series of guides to Moodle that covers from basics to advanced mapping techniques, and they include text, screenshots, videos, and also quiz, because it's something we can do with Moodle. The videos can also be accessed from our YouTube channel, where we put the USM tutorials that can be with and without sound. And these materials are created so far in English, French, Italian, and Portuguese, and Spanish is coming soon. And this is reflected actually also in the instructions of the project we create in the tasking manager. We generally create a reduced version of the learning material into the instructions, and you can read them in English, in French, in Italian, in Portuguese, and in Spanish. The material that are currently available, and we already use them in the training activities we organize. I mean, basic guides through getting started with OSM, how to use ID and JOSM, and the tasking managers. And the longest one is related to the mapping of the topographic features that are the one of interest for the the Unite map mapping. Just let's have a look of what it looks like. This is actually an extract in PDF of the one, and this one is in French. This material involves some description from the tags we use and how to map. And for example, when it's not English, we pay attention to, for example, to the translation into the editors of the tags, so that the mappers can find what is a highway and classify the highway residential or highway track in their favorite editor, because it's not always the same translation between the two of them. We also include some information about current mistake that can be made because from the whole network and how to solve them and the final results. The same thing with, for example, the hydrography, current mistakes, um, description, and what should be uh, the good results when everything is corrected. Um, in a close future, we also finish validating OSM data guides, and because we really want actually to provide enough documentation for any mappers that would like to join or mapping the good skill to become a very efficient OpenStreetMap mapper.